Today for Warriors on Air, we'll be taking a look at our FCCLA program, Spotlight on Basketball and Wrestling, and finally, we'll be taking a closer look at an author right here at SCHS. Let's start off this program with FCCLA.
Today for Warriors on Air, we are looking behind the scenes for FCCLA.
I actually joined my freshman year. At the time, it was Bree Love who was an advisor back then, so I was interested, so I decided to ask her what it was, and it interested me, and for now I've been in FCCLA.
FCCLA helps out our community and fundraises for multiple things, but on the other side of the spectrum, we have our winter athletes rocking it out this season. Let's check them out.
Welcome to Warriors on Air. This segment is over the 2019-2020 wrestling season. Now on to Coach Kearns with how he thinks the season is going to go.
I think it's going to be a great season. We're a very young team, but we got off to a hot start, going 4-2 in duels, and that's a great start for this young team. We've got some great senior leadership, so we're hoping to qualify again for the state duels and finish top 10 at the individual state tournament.
Why did I choose to go for wrestling? Well, I grew up into it, basically, like my brothers wrestled, so then I always wanted to do it, and then one day I just kind of like, oh, hey, I'm going to wrestle, and then I enjoyed it, so then I kind of just stuck with it, and here I am, a wrestler.
I started wrestling when I was 4 years old. My dad was a wrestling coach in Bruno. He started a club team there, a little club team that my two cousins wrestled for, my dad, and I always enjoyed the sport. I've been around it my whole life, and getting here, coached under Mr. Kosick for a few years, and did some other coaching at Fremont, Bergen, and then when I lived in O'Neill, and just always had a passion for the sport. It's one of my true passions in life is wrestling and getting to coach the boys and the girls to get better at wrestling and teach them a lot of life lessons.
I have a feeling this Warrior season is going to be much better than the last previous years. We're going to be earning a lot of wins.
Here at SCHS, basketball is kicking off this season, so let's see what the players are up to.
Probably just staying in shape. There's a lot of running, and I don't really like to run, but it's fun, I guess.
I probably enjoy the games the most in basketball because they're just fun to play.
Well, it started when I was younger. Both my brothers played it, so I wanted to do the same thing they did. So I just had to learn how to play basketball.
Going against the trees, also known as the tall people, because I'm shorter than them and they're taller than me, it just makes it harder to score.
I've been told that I have potential and stuff, and it could help me get into college, so if it can pay for school, might as well do the best I can at it.
For Warriors on Air with videographer Caleb, I'm Erica reporting.
This video is over the SCHS girls basketball. Now on to Alejandra with her opinion on the season.
We can do really good. It doesn't matter what our record is or anything. As long as we play hard and with everything we've got, it will be a good season.
Our girls have a lot of heart, so I think if they play with the love of basketball, I think it'll go really well.
Good luck to the girls and the rest of the season.
As our winter sports catch those W's, let's see how our very talented author, Mr. Goody John, catches his W's.
Recently on Words on Air, we have interviewed school librarian Mrs. Peterson about books that she has written. Today we'll be interviewing Mr. Goody John on books that he has written.
Well, I've had a poetry book published. I've also had a sci-fi novel published, and I'm currently working on the sequel to that sci-fi novel. The poetry book was a book called Collected Whispers. I was the marquee poem in that book. The sci-fi novel I wrote is Time and Eternity, which is available in our library. It was just an idea that was in my head that I had to get down on paper. And once I started writing, it just sort of came out, and it came out pretty easily. Well, the first book took me about 3 months to write. It took me longer to publish it than it did to write. The second book is still underway, so that's been a few years now. Well, as far as written goes, I enjoy the book that I've written, Time and Eternity, but the second book, Stolen Eternity, is going to be a lot better.
For the Warriors on Air with videographer Luis Bartolo, I'm Jonathan Martinez reporting.
What a way to end this program with someone like Mr. Goody John. Thanks for tuning in to this episode of Warriors on Air. For Warriors on Air, this is Janie
and Erica
reporting.